Hey everyone, this is Leo Young here with Impressive Reviews, and today we'll be going over The Flash, Season 3, Episode 4, New Rogues. So, I really enjoyed this episode. Of course, I mainly get more excited over The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow than I do Supergirl and Arrow. But, the reason I like to do Arrow and Supergirl is because the crossover abilities that they have with each other, if you know what I mean, Arrow, basically, if you saw the end credits of this episode, or well, not the end credits, but like the next season's credits, it's going to be amazing because, well, we'll see why. But let's get right into the review because I don't want to waste any more time. So the show they show Sam Scudder now. Oh yeah, right off the bat they use the Sam Scudder version of Mirror Master, and I'll explain. Well, I'll tell you why later. But they showed that 3 years ago during the particle accelerator, Scudder and Top were having a meeting with Snark in another one of the cohorts, not Heatwave, and they have this thief greed thing going on and a fight really just breaks out. All right, leaving Mirror Master unconscious atop of a mirror when the particle accelerator explodes. Now, in modern day, or in Star Labs today, the team is talking about what killed the rival. They're watching the video, just like I said they probably would. And Jesse and Flash head off to the racing tube, or the Cortex. I forgot what they called it, but the tube that they raced in to send Thawne back or forward in time. Wally comments that she's almost as fast as Barry, and honestly, that's true. From what I saw, she was actually keeping up with him. Yeah, she isn't like as agile because he actually manages to trip her, but she catches herself and keeps up with him. Now, what they show is Wally and Jesse are flirting a lot because, well, when they leave, they hold hands, and Wells is like that father. He's like no touching, and well, the team wants Wells to stay on board with him because they pretty much love him. He's the definitive Wells because the original one is dead. So to keep them sated, Wells decides to go and take another Wells from another Earth. Now they go over to Barry and Iris having a date at their house, and it's going well. Not like how went with Linda Park. His body isn't vibrating because sexual healing, baby. And that's when Joe walks in, and Barry freaks the hell out. He speeds around, cleaning up the entire room, and Joe knows what he saw. So they're both like mortified, Joe and Barry. But Iris is like not understanding why Barry has a problem making out in front of their dad. Their dad. See how weird that sounds out loud. Meanwhile, Scudder escapes his mirror prison and starts hunting Snark. And Joe, when he breaks out, he kills someone, and they pretty much figure out it's him. Joe tells Barry about Scudder, and Barry tells Joe about Snart going missing. Well, not going missing, but off with the Legends. And before he leaves, Barry has a talk with Joe about him and Iris, and Joe shows that he says he's all right with them being together. He's just freaked out about them kissing. Now, Cisco, Wells, and Caitlin, they're in Star Labs trying to find another Harrison. They send out a message through the multiverse. Mission complete. They go out for some big belly burgers. In the city, Jesse and Wally are making out. Well, they don't make out, but they like kiss. And it's nice to see that they're building a relationship, but Wally is afraid of opening up because she's going back to Earth 2 in like a day. So no reason to start that type of relationship. This is when we go to the trailer scene where they talk about what to name Mirror Master, and Cisco's like and bam, Wells goes like Mirror Master, mother, and the reason he comes up with it, he doesn't come up with it. It's already a name. Mirror Master exists on Earth too. Evan McCullough, I'm sorry. I love Mirror Master. I wanted him, and I love the Rogues. They are my favorite Rogues Galleries villains. And oh my god, he uses the mirror gun. Wells says he uses the mirror gun. Sorry. Anyways, they find Dylan, aka the Top, who's now a female, unlike her comic book counterpart, and I think I know why. So Joe and the DA go to Iron Heights to speak with her to find Scudder, but during the interview, Scudder appears in her cell and breaks her out. He heads back to Star Labs and tells the team what he saw, and a message beeps up on Cisco's phone, alerting them to a Wells conversation. Now Scudder and Dylan go back to meet at the warehouse that it all went down. And for Scudder, he's been gone for a few hours, but for Dylan, she knows that he's been gone for a few years. So he asks her to show him her powers, and it's pretty amazing. Well, not amazing actually. It's pretty downright sad. I'll tell you why in personal thoughts, but she uses her powers, and then Dylan tells him about Snart being gone, but tells him also about the Flash coming in. Now, a little funny scene where they show this funny behind cowboy called Hell's Wells and a mime version of Wells, and Harrison's just not having it. And then they find a hipster Wells, who Wells also doesn't trust. Now, back at the West House, they're having like a family date night, the final one. Wally is with Jesse, Barry's with Alice, and Barry is with Iris, and Joe is with, the remote. So Iris just doesn't understand why Barry and Joe can't get used to them kissing when Joe's phone gets a warning call about Scudder. So Flash and Jesse head over to catch him and top at a bank robbery. Seeing how dangerous Scudder is, Barry tells Jesse to stay behind when he goes after him. And it ends with Jesse falling off of her rooftop after she goes after the top one-on-one. Flash saving her, but with his guard down, Flash is thrown into a mirror. And this is basically where that whole scene from the trailer comes up to, and they spend like a couple hours trying to figure out how to break Wells out. Cisco and Wells come up with the idea to use extreme colds to break him out. And Cisco wants to use like hipster Wells, but the main Wells is kind of upset about that. Either way, they come together, they try to break him out. The machine is just not able to do it. Now, during the process of breaking him out, the meta-human alert goes off, and basically that calls everyone away, leaving Barry inside the mirror. Now, Caitlin decides to use her powers to affect the mirror and free Barry. And effectively, he didn't see her do it, but she uses her power. She's colder than absolute zero, if that tells you how dangerous she can be. Now, to take down Scudder, Barry uses holograms of Snart. So Top and Scudder separate. Jesse takes out Top, this time actually knowing how to undo her effects. And to beat Scudder, Flash places Scudder in an infinite reflective loop. That doesn't make sense. If you've ever read or watched Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, it's similar to the style he took down Shadowcat. Flash surrounds Scudder with multiple mirrors, and every time he jumps out of one, he just bounces into another. And they finish up the episode by bringing Hipster Wells to Earth 1, and he goes by HR. Cisco and Wells have a personal moment. They hug, they say goodbye, and Wells goes and takes this time to tell Cisco that something else broke Barry out, that the machine didn't do it. And whatever this thing is, like I said, it's more powerful than Sub-Zero. So, bon voyage to Harrison and Jesse Quick because they head back to Earth 2, and this Hipster Wells stays behind, or HR. In the end credits show Caitlin in the shower at her home. We finally see where she lives. I don't know how she pays for it. I don't think Barry pays for, or I don't know. I really want to know who pays these people. But it shows that her lips turn blue and a strand of her hair turns white. She's turning into Killer Frost. This is actually her body changing. It's not just something she physically does to herself. Anyways, that's the review. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to get right into my thoughts right after this. See you then. Alright everyone, let's get right into the thoughts. Oh, that sounded so much better in my head. I should have kept it there. Anyways, I'm going to start with I was going to start with why Iris is I feel like Iris has a mental issue or something. It's she has a harder time understanding things than most people. Her sense of morality kind of messes her up, if you know what I mean. In the first season when Eddie didn't want to tell her and she was only a man would tell me. It's no, only a person who has no problem sharing his deepest, darkest thoughts because he has no issue with it would tell you. Eddie is not like that. It's she has some issues. Season 2 she was good. Season 3 she's still good. I just hope they don't continue from season 1. Anyways, so let's go to the top, because I wanted to start with the Top's acting. Nothing gave this away. This honestly felt like the Dr. Midnight from Legends of Tomorrow. If you don't know Dr. Midnight, you don't go off and you don't what's the word? You don't watch over him, you don't study him. Dr. Midnight originally Dr. Midnight was not a black guy. All right, he was a white guy. The original Dr. Midnight. There's like it's a legacy thing. And with that, it's like when you think about it, people would go like, "Oh my God, they turned like the Flash." No, they turned Wally West black. They turned Midnight black. Nobody cares because he's a small character. Uh, and he didn't do much. Now, as for like the top, they turned the top from a male into a female. And the thing about the top was the top had a relationship with Golden Glider, aka Snart's sister, which would have been a great like thing to add into the video. It's like, I know you're dating my sister, but I'm still gonna put a bullet in your head. Like that would have been great. You know, to have Scudder and Dylan as good friends and not just like lovers. But I feel like the reason they wanted to add like Dylan as a woman, and this is a good reason, is because of they want to bring the rogues back, all of them. Like think about the title, the new rogues. Um, they don't. You wouldn't just throw that name around for no reason. The new rogues. They're bringing back Snart in like all the other shows. He'll be back, the real Snart. And if he comes down, he's like, "Listen, Scudder, I'm the only guy who's ever beaten the Flash. He beat you with a couple mirrors. So work with me, and we'll take this city and take out every metahuman in our way." It's like I can believe that if he's with the Legion of Doom and he's like on Central City, he's going to need his own army. The Rogues is that army. Now, like I said, the top's acting like it was 2 out of 10. They didn't give her much to do. She was just there. They made her a female, and I'm hoping because they want to add like the rest of the rogues, and they want to add like more than just one female, which is the Golden Glider. They want to have two, and Magenta's a good guy now, so that's not going to happen. So they're going to leave it at that. Her powers was very disappointed to see it. If you saw the picture in the video, like the top's powers literally have him spinning the area at like high powers. I mean, not high powers, but high speeds. Like he's tearing the place up. He doesn't even have to move. Like everything around him just is basically air current or air control in my mind. And yeah, I guess he would have vertigo, but it's like in reality they basically turned the top from this show into Vertigo from the X-Men. If you don't know who Vertigo is, she pretty much does the same exact thing. She uses like these powers to whammy people. She doesn't have like spinning. Now, let's get into hold up. Oh, okay. Let's get into Scudder. I loved him. He was great. I'm very happy that there is actually an Evan McCullough on Earth 2, which means we may actually see him, which is going to be great. Because you know what if Harrison goes like, oh, there is a rogues on my planet, but there's a lot less of them. I mean, there's a lot more of them, maybe less, who knows? But I loved his acting. His powers were weird. I wasn't happy about how they used it. It's like they're used to travel or something. Like I didn't understand how his powers worked. Like he took Top out of the prison cell, and well, from what I'm guessing, seeing as how the prison cells aren't connected, he would have had to exit the prison cell's window with Top, then run down the hall. You see, like the way he ran from Barry, he couldn't just like move from one window and then end up in another building. He had to literally he had to go into the window, fly upwards through the window, then jump from one building to the other to hit the next window. See how that's kind of problematic? And speaking of that, Barry's plan to defeat Scudder, and this is my last thought, I did not like it. Like, Barry's plan to defeat Scudder was to put these windows up in like a barrier where he'll just jump out and keep landing into each one. That would have worked, but Scudder pretty much showed that he knows where to land. He jumped out of one window and he did go through another one, but then he popped out into the center and Flash is like, "You're gonna keep on doing that." And it's like, not really. If Scudder was to jump into a mirror and literally just sit there, the Flash couldn't do anything. Unless they figured out how to, like, hold the mirror. But other than that, it's like, Scudder could have jumped through a mirror, quickly got out, and ran. It's like, I guess it makes sense that they depowered him because in reality, a person with that ability would be overpowered. Anyways, that's my thought on it. I'm glad you I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'm glad you did. Please share, comment, subscribe, and like. Get this now. Get the impressive graphics out there. Um, and that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow for Arrow. And I just want to make a quick announcement. Again, I don't like to do the Arrow ones, and I guess that's why I kind of sound more dead. But I still do it just to get us out there, and maybe I'll hit something that I really like. Anyways, again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.